The film begins with a young and innocent 20-year-old girl named Elizabeth, who lives with her mother, father, and younger brother in a house located right next to a dense forest. Every day, Elizabeth passes through this same forest on her way to college, never imagining that one day, this peaceful route would become the beginning of the most terrifying nightmare of her life. One day, after college, Elizabeth is returning home with her friend and her friend's girlfriend. At that time, her friend's brother arrives in a car and picks them up. Elizabeth's friend and his girlfriend leave in the car, while Elizabeth continues walking alone along the main road. The road is surrounded by thick, deserted forest on both sides, and Elizabeth has no idea that this lonely path is about to change her life forever. As she keeps walking, a man wearing a police uniform suddenly calls out to her from inside the forest. His name is Vincent. In a strict voice, he tells Elizabeth that he is a police officer and claims that drugs are being cultivated near her house. Because of that, he says he has to take her in for questioning. Before Elizabeth can understand anything properly, Vincent handcuffs her and ties a belt around her neck. He then tells her that he has already arrested her younger brother and is taking her to him. Hearing this, Elizabeth becomes terrified. But since Vincent is dressed like a police officer, she does not dare to go against him. After that, Vincent starts leading her deeper into the forest. They cross a small river and continue walking further into the woods. Elizabeth does not want to go with him, but fear forces her to obey. After taking her deep into the forest, Vincent makes Elizabeth sit down and finally reveals the truth. He tells her that he is not a police officer. He says he kidnapped her because he wants to be with her. Then, in a disturbing way, he says that he is in love with her and likes her. At first, Elizabeth cannot even understand what is happening to her. Her eyes fill with tears as she realizes that she is trapped with a dangerous man. Vincent then asks Elizabeth if she has a cell phone, and she says no. After that, he starts asking her strange and uncomfortable questions, like whether she has been involved with anyone or whether she has any close friends. Hearing all this, Elizabeth realizes that Vincent is completely insane and mentally unstable. Vincent then takes her to the middle of the forest, where he has secretly built an underground bunker. He forces Elizabeth inside and closes the door behind them. From above, the bunker is almost impossible to notice because Vincent has covered it with dry leaves. Inside, the place looks like a small, dark room with only a small door and a bed. After taking her inside, Vincent chains Elizabeth up. He warns her that if she tries to escape, the belt around her neck will explode because it has a bomb attached to it. He also threatens that if she makes any noise, he will kill her. He tells her to listen to him if she wants to stay alive. Elizabeth is now completely trapped, and she breaks down in tears. Meanwhile, Elizabeth's mother realizes that her daughter has not returned home. She immediately leaves everything she was doing and starts searching for her. She calls Elizabeth's friends, but no one knows where she is. This makes her even more worried. With the help of Elizabeth's friend, she goes into the forest to search for her daughter. Elizabeth's younger brother also enters the woods and starts calling out loudly for his sister, hoping she will answer. But no matter how much they search, they find nothing. As night falls and Elizabeth is still missing, her parents become helpless. Finally, they contact the police and file a missing person report. The police officer questions the people in the neighborhood and tries to find any clue about Elizabeth, but he still finds nothing. At first, the police do not take Elizabeth's disappearance seriously. They think she might have gone to a friend's house, or maybe she is with a male friend and will return home soon. But when Elizabeth does not return even the next day, the police finally go to her college and question the same friend and female friend who were with her. They reveal that they had left Elizabeth alone on the main road before going home. After hearing this, the police and Elizabeth's family begin searching the forest for her. They search through the forest again and again, but they find no trace of Elizabeth anywhere. Meanwhile, Elizabeth has been locked inside the underground bunker for 2 days. She is completely terrified, frightened, and helpless. She cries while thinking about her family, desperately wanting to escape from this nightmare.
But Vincent warns her that escaping is impossible because he has planted bombs all around the area. He tells her that if she steps on them, she will die instantly. Then he gives her an even more terrifying threat. He says that even if she somehow escapes from the forest, he will go to her house and kill her little brother. Hearing this, Elizabeth becomes extremely scared. Vincent then suddenly changes his tone and tells her not to worry, saying that everything will be fine. After that, he offers her some noodles to eat, but Elizabeth refuses to eat, and this makes him angry. Vincent threatens her and says that if she does not listen to him, he will be forced to hurt her, even though he claims he absolutely hates doing that. Vincent is completely mentally unstable. His real intention is to control Elizabeth and stay with her inside this bunker forever. He has already prepared everything for this plan. The bunker has many essential items, including a TV, a toilet, a gas stove, and plenty of food. Elizabeth now understands one painful truth. If she wants to survive and find a way out, she has to obey Vincent for now. On the third day, while Elizabeth is eating noodles, she suddenly hears noises coming from outside. In reality, her mother, father, and their friends have come into the forest to search for her. Realizing this, Vincent immediately covers Elizabeth's mouth with his hand. He points his gun at her and whispers that if she makes even the slightest sound, he will blow her head off right there. Since the bunker is covered with dry leaves, no one outside is able to see the hidden door. Elizabeth's family searches nearby, but they still cannot find her. That evening, Vincent and Elizabeth watch the news on TV. The news shows that the police are searching for Elizabeth, and her parents are deeply worried. Seeing her family suffer like this breaks Elizabeth's heart. The police continue searching for her day after day, and they even monitor the forest from helicopters. When Vincent hears a helicopter flying above them, he quickly covers both himself and Elizabeth with foil. He does this to hide them from the heat-detecting equipment, so the police will not be able to find them. On the fourth day, Vincent tells Elizabeth a false story about his life. He says that he was once married and loved his wife very much. But one day, according to him, she falsely accused him of trying to rape her. Because of that, the police started chasing him, and he built this underground bunker to hide from them. He says he originally wanted to bring his wife into this bunker to punish her, but she left the country before he could do it. Then he saw Elizabeth and claims that he fell in love with her at first sight. That is why he brought her here, so he could spend his life with her. Vincent's gun is not a real killing weapon, but it can still injure someone badly. He constantly keeps Elizabeth in fear, so she will never try to leave him. But even after everything he has done, Elizabeth refuses to give up. Elizabeth knows that if she wants to survive, she must first understand Vincent's mind. So instead of fighting him directly, she slowly starts talking to him in a calmer way, trying to study his behavior and gain his trust. 5 days pass, but there is still no sign of Elizabeth. One night, while Vincent is sleeping beside her, Elizabeth slowly and silently gets out of bed. She notices Vincent's gun lying on the table in front of her. She reaches out to take it, but a chain is tied around her neck. No matter how hard she tries, she cannot reach the gun. Just then, Vincent suddenly opens his eyes. In anger, he asks Elizabeth what she is doing. Elizabeth quickly replies that she has to go to the bathroom. Then, to win his trust, she places her hand on Vincent's hand and tells him that she is slowly falling in love with him. Elizabeth knows this is the only way to stay alive. To escape from this nightmare, she has to make Vincent believe that she is getting close to him. By the 6th day, she continues pretending that she wants to stay with him in the bunker. Slowly, Vincent begins to trust her. He believes that Elizabeth will never leave him and will stay with him forever. Because of this trust, he removes the chain from her neck and even teaches her how to use his fake gun. That night, Vincent takes Elizabeth out of the bunker. Her hands are still handcuffed. He takes her to an old car where food has been stored. Elizabeth asks him who brings the food, but Vincent refuses to answer. At that moment, the sound of a helicopter is heard above them. Vincent becomes frightened and quickly takes Elizabeth back into the bunker. But before going inside, Elizabeth secretly removes one of her shoes and leaves it outside, hoping it will become a clue for the police. Once inside the bunker, Elizabeth discovers that Vincent has a mobile phone. The next morning, while Vincent is asleep, she quietly takes the phone and types a message to her mother. But then she realizes there is no network inside the bunker. She slightly opens the bunker door and tries to get a signal, but nothing works. With no other choice, she deletes the message and keeps the phone back in its place. Then her eyes fall on Vincent's gun. Elizabeth picks up the gun and points it at Vincent's head. She knows the gun does not fire real bullets, so she believes Vincent will not die. But she also knows it can injure him badly. Hoping to wound him and escape, she pulls the trigger. But instead of firing, the gun jams. Elizabeth becomes furious and helpless. She quickly puts the gun back in its place. As she thinks about her mother and father, sadness fills her heart. She wonders whether she will ever escape from this terrifying place. By now, Elizabeth has been trapped for 7 days. Still, the police have found no clue about her. Because of this, Elizabeth's friends and the police officers slowly begin to suspect that she may no longer be alive. On the 8th day, Vincent checks his gun and realizes that it is jammed. He angrily asks Elizabeth whether she touched it. Elizabeth calmly says no and asks why she would even need it. Then, to calm him down, she takes Vincent's hand and places it on her cheek. This simple act makes Vincent trust her again.
Meanwhile, since the police have found no evidence, they are about to stop searching for Elizabeth. But suddenly, something unexpected happens. The message Elizabeth had typed to her mother, even though she deleted it because there was no signal, somehow reaches her mother's phone. In the message, Elizabeth says that a man is holding her captive inside an underground bunker in the middle of the forest near their home. She also warns that the man is insane. Elizabeth's parents are shocked after reading the message. At the same time, a new hope rises in their hearts. They immediately call the police and show them the message. But at first, the officers do not take it seriously. They think it might be a joke or a prank. But Elizabeth's mother explains that her daughter had written her name as Lisa in the message. This name is known only to their family, and no one else knows about it. After hearing this, the officers finally take the message seriously. The police track the number from which the message was sent to Elizabeth's mother. Through this, they get their first real clue. The next day, the police reach a woman's house because the phone had been purchased in her name just 3 weeks earlier. When the police question her, they learn that she was once Vincent's friend, but their relationship had ended and she had not seen him properly for years. She tells the officers that Vincent often sends her messages, and whenever he asks, she leaves food in a cart inside the forest. The woman then takes the police to that cart. She explains that she has no idea where Vincent takes the food after collecting it. While investigating further, the police also find an old bunker under the woman's house where Vincent used to hide from the police. The officers then discover that Vincent has many criminal cases against him, including kidnapping. The police had been searching for him for a long time, but he had never been caught. Now, they are finally convinced that Vincent is the one behind Elizabeth's kidnapping. The sheriff decides to spread this information through the media. He knows that Vincent is dangerous, but he is also a coward. If Vincent sees that the police are getting closer to him, there is a chance he will panic and run. This is a risky move, but the sheriff believes it may be the only way to force him out. When Vincent sees on TV that the police have discovered that Elizabeth was kidnapped and hidden inside a bunker, he completely panics. He starts yelling at Elizabeth and asks why she sent a message to her mother about them. He says he thought Elizabeth loved him. Elizabeth quickly tries to calm him down. She tells him that she did not send any message from his phone and asks him to check it himself if he does not believe her. Then, she says that this is just a trick by the police and they are doing it only to catch him. Vincent checks his phone, but he finds no message because Elizabeth had already deleted it. This makes Vincent even more disturbed. He becomes convinced that the police will soon come and arrest him. At that moment, Elizabeth uses his fear against him. She tells him that she loves him, but if the police find them together, he will definitely go to jail. So she tells him to run away for now. She says that once everything becomes calm, he can come back to the bunker.
Elizabeth promises him that she will wait for him there. She also says that after he returns, they can both leave this place and live together in another city. Believing her words, Vincent finally escapes from the bunker. After Vincent leaves, Elizabeth opens the bunker door and comes outside. But she is still terrified because she believes there may be bombs around the bunker. Because of this, she does not move forward. Just then, she hears the voices of the police searching for her in the woods. Elizabeth immediately calls out to them. The police rush toward her and finally find her alive. Only then do they reveal that the bomb Vincent had used to scare her was fake. The police quickly rescue Elizabeth and bring her home safely. When Elizabeth sees her family again, everyone breaks down in tears and hugs each other. After spending 10 horrifying days inside that underground hell, Elizabeth is finally reunited with her family. A few days later, the police arrest Vincent. The court later sentences him to life imprisonment for his crimes and illegal activities. Meanwhile, Elizabeth slowly begins recovering from the trauma she went through. In the end, the courage, patience, and presence of mind Elizabeth showed while facing a mentally unstable criminal becomes an example for everyone. Even in the most dangerous situations, staying calm and using intelligence can become the key to survival. With this, the story of the film comes to an end.